Buenos Aires in Argentina is known as the Paris of Latin America. The architecture makes you feel like you're in the City of Lights, and there are plenty of upscale restaurants that give off a swanky, artsy feel that, again, will make you feel like you're in Europe. For this episode, we're exploring the city, where a cemetery is one of the top places for tourists to visit, and walking into a bookstore is a popular meeting place for locals.
There are many bookstores. They pop up like in the cool neighborhoods of Buenos Aires.
Yep, Argentinians love to read. In fact, Buenos Aires is among the cities with the highest number of bookstores per person in the world. While most bookstores have closed in the States, there are about 700 brick and mortar establishments in the city. This one, El Ateneo, was built in 1919 as a theater. It was converted into a bookstore in recent years, and today it has garnered a reputation of the world's most beautiful bookstore. That, according to National Geographic. Aside from a big book scene, there's also a big art scene. And Mariana Sambrizzi, who was born and raised in Buenos Aires, is an expert when it comes to Latin American art.
I develop art projects in the city, and I work with real estate to make artwork for their common spaces, and I also help people start their collections and guide them through art galleries. I know every hidden place that the artists have and that where to find good art.
I was lucky enough to spend a week with Mariana in August, which is winter in South America. My husband, Luis, and I were invited to be part of a small, highly curated tour of Buenos Aires and nearby Uruguay. It was the two of us plus 5 other guests, and Mariana was there every step of the way.
Yes, we just had this very first experience with my partner, Ania Agardy.
This is my first time here, and I've never experienced a city quite like this. It's a little bit of Europe, a little bit of Latin America, and then very Argentinian.
We are really loud. We are a mixture of Spanish and Italian roots. So we are loud, we talk with our hands, and we are very expressive. We have Latin American styles and manners. So we are very embracing, we are very kind, but at the same time we are very sophisticated, especially Buenos Aires, which is a very sophisticated city, so you get the best of this perfect combination.
I would call it a relaxed sophistication. We started the trip with a visit to the Recoleta Cemetery, a 14-acre plot of land that commemorates the dead with extravagant sculptures and tombs made out of materials imported from Paris and Milan. More than 20 presidents, 25 city mayors, 40 governors, and Nobel Prize writers, politicians, and engineers, they're all buried here. Now the place looks like a well laid out city. I know it might sound a little strange, but taking a walk through this cemetery, it's a must if you plan to visit. Our next experience, vastly different. We took a 15-minute chopper ride to the Pampas, a wide-open, expansive flatland where locals typically go every weekend for some R&R. We spent the afternoon at a beautiful estancia, basically a working ranch with cattle and polo horses. More on that in another episode. We also met an Argentinian artist at his workshop, plus we stopped by Malva, the Museum of Latin American Art. This painting by Frida Kahlo was purchased at auction for $35.9 million, the most expensive Latin American art piece ever sold. My favorite room at the museum? This one by artist Edgardo Jimenez. One of the most incredible sights in the city, Teatro Colón. The building is a mix of Italian and French styles, and it took 20 years to build. It was inaugurated back in 1908, the golden age in Buenos Aires. It's considered one of the top 5 opera houses in the world, known for its exceptional acoustics and beauty. It took my breath away and made me feel like I was in Paris. Now, we did see a symphony there at night, and yes, the acoustics, they were incredible. The next day, we returned for a special tour that took us 3 floors down. We walked through rehearsal halls, prop rooms, and saw dozens of workshops with people making costumes, wigs, and shoes made by hand. I don't know about you, but I was kind of fond of these red ones. In stark contrast, we took a quick stop in La Boca, an area with colorful houses and street artists. In case you don't know, the beautiful and seductive ballroom dance known as the tango, that began in Argentina, so of course we went to a late night show. Clearly, culture and art is alive and well in the Argentinian capital.
This store, it's a mixture of antiques. Everything is unique.
With vintage stuff, we try to give them a new life with technology that we can use nowadays. Like maybe these lamps didn't exist. This egg was blown in the 70s by this artist. It's a famous Argentinian designer. He did furniture, textile, glass, carpets, and we added the lining. Let me show you with an app, and it changed the color.
Whether you love art, food, or culture, there's something for everyone in Buenos Aires. And if you want a highly curated tour that takes you to places where the locals go, Mariana is a woman who can make it happen.